Have you ever purchased a skincare product, tried it one time, and discovered that it failed to meet your expectations? Maybe it overdried your skin, left a sticky residue, or even worse, caused a skin reaction? Well, stay tuned because I have created two new of my toxin skincare reduction techniques that'll help you decide if that product should get a pass or thrown in the trash. So stay tuned. Hi, thank you for joining today on the Aleci Natural Skincare channel. I am Talecia Lynn, and I am so happy that you have taken the time out today to learn more about enhancing your natural skincare journey. But before we begin, you know the routine. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you will be made aware the next time that I have a new video to post. So, as I mentioned earlier, one of the worst moments for anyone that's battling any kind of skincare condition is to spend your hard earned money on a product, apply it to your skin maybe one day, a week, a month, and there are no results. You don't see any improvement in your skin, and it's very disappointing when you spend all that money and nothing happens. The product is pretty much a dud. I wanted to create a technique to help you decide if a product is good for you or not. So you don't have to spend a whole lot of time applying a moisturizer or a face cleanser to your skin and it's not matching your skin type or it's just not doing what it's supposed to do. So I've come up with a test and I call it the absorbency test. And I wanted to test a facial moisturizer and a face wash to determine if there is any possibilities of synthetics in it that would interfere with your skin becoming better or just improving the condition of your skin. So what I did was I took a face wash and I compared it to a natural face cleanser, which is the Aleci Naturals cleanser, and also a moisturizer. And I tested these products and I want to share it with you because one of the main attributes I look for when purchasing a skincare product is its absorbency rate. I want to know if the product is going to absorb into my skin or is it just going to lay on top of the layer of my skin or just be moved around from one place to another as I'm washing my face. Now, another important attribute that you can look for when deciding on what kind of face cleanser to use is to look for its ability to break down dirt and oils. What most people don't realize is when you use a face wash, oftentimes it lifts up the dirt and oil, but it's not breaking it down. So you'll have oil and the product mixed into your skin, not really removing anything, but it lays there, and that's where that residue comes in. And just to give you an example of this, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but there's been so many times where I've had my carpet cleaned, and the carpet cleaning company will come in, clean the carpet, and I notice that once it dries, there's this film left on top of my carpet. And the dirt is still visible in some spots, and in other spots, it's not. So it looks as if the dirt was just shifted around. And again, a residue is left over. So the carpet really isn't clean. The dirt was just moved to different spots. So that's sort of what I'm referring to in terms of the face cleanser. The same thing happens. What most people don't realize is that when you wash your face, a lot of these products say that they lift up dirt and wash them away. Well, if that product isn't penetrating your skin in any way, it's lifting up the dirt and it's also being washed away down the drain. So that is also your hard earned money being washed away. I wanted to reduce that possibility. So you'll see today how I use a simple technique, one with margarine and the other is with a paper bag. This is an easy DIY test that you can do in your home, anytime, anywhere, and it can help you with a deduction technique so you'll know if the product is good for you or not. So let's get started, and I would like to show you my first test to where I am testing a face cleanser, and let's see what happens. So the supplies that you'll need for this experiment is your choice of face cleanser, preferably one or two. You can also use margarine or butter. And if you don't have any soil around, you could use some activated charcoal. And that's just for the visual effect so that you can actually see the dirt being broken down. But you'll see that I'll add a little bit of activated charcoal to the margarine as I am rubbing it into the glass cutting board. So rub it in real good just to get it large enough so that you can see the difference here. And I'm going to apply the natural face cleanser to the margarine. And then I am going to also apply the over-the-counter brand that has some synthetics in it. Here is where I am adding the activated charcoal. And again, if you don't have any activated charcoal, feel free to use any type of potting soil. Now I'm rubbing it into the margarine, making sure that I cover all the edges. And you can see that the activated charcoal is in the center. I repeated the same step with the synthetic face cleanser. They are both foaming face cleansers, but you'll see the difference in a minute. Now I applied the same amount of charcoal to both cleansers, so we're going to let it sit for a minute and see what happens. If you just take a quick glance, you can see that the natural face cleanser is a lot lighter than the leading brand because the natural face cleanser is beginning to break down the dirt and the oil, and you see it's beginning to disappear. Now in the other brand, it's still pretty dark and you don't really see a whole lot of changes taking place, but we'll take a quick glance right now and see if there's a difference in the application of the natural face cleanser and then the one that contains some synthetics. Again, I am rubbing the solution into the margarine to make sure that the dirt and the oil is being broken up. Now, as you can see here, as I'm rubbing my fingers through the synthetic solution here, it hasn't changed colors. It's still the same color, and it's, as I explained earlier, about the solution being shifted around and not being broken down so that the The solution can penetrate the skin, and the dirt and oils can be washed away. Again, I'm going to allow both solutions to sit about 60 seconds longer, and then we'll come and take another quick peek. Now I'm going to pull the solutions closer so that you can see a comparison to what's happening here. One is definitely much lighter than the other, and I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to try another trick and see exactly if the dirt and the oil has been broken down in both solutions. I'm going to apply some paper towel to both facial cleansers and see how much solution is lifted up from the glass cutting board and what transfers onto the napkin here. I'm going to press down real hard to make sure I get as much of the solution up and absorbed into the paper towel. Glass here, you see that there is very minimum amount of margarine or oil left over, and on the opposite side here you can still see some residue remaining on the glass, or as I have placed into the solution charcoal, you can see some of that present. And if you compare both solutions, the natural facial cleanser has broken down the charcoal and the oil to where none was remaining on the glass. And on the lead-in brand, you still see some charcoal and some margarine remaining there. Cross comparison here, there's definitely a difference with one having more residue or the product just being shifted around, and one that actually broke down the dirt and the oil and was transferred onto the paper towel. So this is my first example on how a natural cleanser can actually break down dirt and oil so that the product can penetrate the skin and the dirt and the oils are washed away, versus using a synthetic cleanser where the dirt appears to just be shifted around onto the skin and possibly washed down the drain, leaving a residue behind. Let's move along to our second absorbency test using a face moisturizer. Again, this is very simple, very basic. Choose your favorite moisturizing cream. Here I have my favorite, which is the CMOS Aleci Natural Face Moisturizer. And this is a top leading brand that you can find in any store. I have my paper bag here. It's actually a paper covering that you can buy at the dollar store, used to wrap materials. And I am going to apply the moisturizer to the your left side, and I'm going to label it letter A. And I just took a little and I just rubbed it into the paper, and I'm going to do the same thing with the leading brand here, which I labeled B. While that's being rubbed in, if you take a quick peek over at A, you can see there's a wet spot that's beginning to form, and that is the product beginning to absorb into the paper. Let's take a quick look here, doing a cross comparison. You can see with A that the product is definitely starting to go into the paper bag here, and with B, there is no wet spot, and the product is still on top of the paper bag, but we'll give it some more time to see if this moisturizer will absorb through the paper bag. Again, we're going to take another close look here, and you can see that the natural moisturizer has really penetrated through the paper here, while the other brand is still sitting on top. You can actually still see some of the product visible on top of the paper for both, but one appears to be applying a little bit more moisture than the other. And this is an example of a product that is applied to the top layer of your skin, and it sits there. It's not absorbing into the skin, and it is giving the illusion that the skin is actually soft, but it is not in any way healing or renewing the skin. It is basically just laying there. Now, here's my second example. Well, my second example for the moisturizer. I chose a different product. It's a over-the-counter brand, and it's a body cream. And I just wanted to repeat the same steps. Just I chose a spot on the paper, and I just again wanted you to see what happens with these products that do contain synthetics. I'm not making this up. You can actually read the back of the labels and Google a lot of these ingredients, and you will see that they do contain some form of synthetics. Whether it's harmful or not, it's still a synthetic, it's not a natural ingredient. Again, I am applying the Aleci Naturals moisturizer. This is the same face moisturizer from the previous example. And at the top there, you could see the second cream that I apply. I'm going to try to zoom in a little so that you could see the difference here. As we take a closer look here, you can see that the second synthetic product that I apply, you can see a little bit of moisture there. It's a lot better than the first one, but again, when you compare it to the natural cream, there's a lot more moisture that's present and that is being penetrated through the paper. But again, this is a little bit better than the first brand that I had compared the natural moisturizer to. But this is the most important step here. I am going to flip over the paper so you can see how the product absorbed through the back of the paper bag here. There is the Aleci brand there. You can see it's coming through the paper bag. And on the other side there, you see neither one of the synthetic creams came through the paper. And these are my two absorbency tests to help you determine if your skincare products are actually being absorbed into your skin or just laying on top of your skin and being washed away and wiped away throughout the day. So that concludes the ending of my absorbency test on facial cleansers and moisturizers. It's a great idea to always test your products, especially today, because you're not really sure exactly what you're putting on your skin. You're not sure what's in these products. So, if it's any way to test and determine if they're safe for you, by all means, just run a quick, simple test on a paper bag. Bring out some butter or some margarine and just pour the product over it and just see what happens. I mean, it doesn't hurt much. But as I always say in my videos, this is something that I use for me. And I don't claim that these products are better for one particular condition or if they are scientifically proven. I don't claim any of that. I just want to put some information out there and then you can make the best decision for yourself. Now, for me, if I'm going to put a product on my skin, I want to make sure that I'm getting the best benefits from using those products, especially on my face. If a product has vitamins, minerals, and nutrients in them, I want to make sure that my skin is absorbing those nutrients and not just being washed down the drain or not just laying on top of my skin, especially if those products contain synthetics. Now, I would love for you to go ahead and test your products and share your results. I did 2 different brands, and there are dozens, hundreds of different brands out there, and I know there will be a different result for each type. So share your results in the comments. And again, I thank you for visiting the Aleci Natural Skincare channel today. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you again on the next video. Have a great day. If you would like to learn more about the Aleci Naturals brand or purchase any of the Aleci products presented in this video today, please visit www.alecinaturals.com.